Greetings, Guardians, and welcome to the Voices of the Vanguard. Today I have with me Sully from Sully Games. Say hello, Sully.
Hello, Guardians.
And today we have a special guest with us. She goes by Beth. Say hello.
Hello.
And pimp out your Twitter handle and whatever else you do.
Your content.
Yeah, your content, basically, yeah.
Oh, well, my Twitter is at BethRaylene, easy peasy. Pretty much, I don't really do any content. I just share clips of me, like, slaying in PvP, but I will be doing a podcast for the new season soon, so that's
Woo.
exciting.
Yeah, I read that you guys are going to go more on a deep dive for, like, loadouts and stuff, or...
Yeah, because we have some loadouts that we really, really like, but we don't know how well they will fare in the new season. So we're gonna try them out and then sort of adjust them as the season progresses.
Cool stuff. Do you have a name for it yet, or...?
Yeah, it's called the Many Shaders of Destiny. So like the R in shaders is around parentheses. I don't know.
Very nice. Yeah, so just keep an eye out for that.
Yeah.
That should be going up in the next season, I guess.
Yeah, not when the new season drops, but the following Tuesday, so the 17th, I guess.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, let's just so he's got some topics for you here. We usually, when we get guests on, we usually do, ask them about some of the like either if they create content or their favorite character, favorite raid, stuff like that. So let's start with I guess you already said that you're a warlock main.
Yeah, I do main a warlock, but lately I've been kind of dipping my toes with the other two classes.
Okay. What's your second favorite then?
Probably a Titan.
Ooh.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Worst jump in the game.
I just can't get a handle on the hunter jumps. That's all.
Yeah, the hunter jump is pretty bad.
Yeah, that's
Not wrong.
just why
You
it's
can't
really
fly, right? Like the whole like I love flying in this game and
yeah.
So I'll let you handle the the questions. You're better at it than me.
Oh, I don't know about that. All right. So we went over your favorite character, which is warlock, and so that means you're very smart. So what is your favorite gun in Destiny? Be legendary, exotic.
I've been liking Hawthorne's Forgefield shotgun.
Really?
Forgefield, yeah. I have a really nice roll on the one that I've been using for PvE, so I'm just really liking it. And I wasn't around for year one, so I'm glad that I got to experience it this year of Destiny.
True.
I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about exotic? Favorite exotic?
I don't really have one that I like all the time. I guess I would say Jade Rabbit, just because it's so consistent.
Okay. So you're definitely a PvP player.
Yeah, for sure. when
Definitely
momentum
a
control
PvP.
comes around, you just one tap fools with that Jade.
So, since you seem to be more PvP based, have you done any of the raids in Destiny?
Yeah, so I'm actually originally PvE.
Okay.
I just this last season been really into PvP, but I have done Crown of Sorrows, Leviathan, and Scourge,
Okay.
and one of the other Leviathan ones. I don't remember which one, but yeah.
What was your favorite?
Crown, definitely Crown.
Smart. I
Yeah.
love Crown.
Yeah.
Love Crown.
I just love the mechanics, and it's so beautiful, and like the armor, I just love the armor too.
Yeah, it's good looking
Armor
stuff.
is very sexy. I love how just chaotic
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
raid is.
the end, like the two boss fights. Yeah,
goes
it's like
from
controlled
0 to
chaos.
100.
Yeah, like
Yes.
which I love the most.
Chill. Yep.
Yeah.
So chill the first two rounds. And yeah, those last two phases, it's just like,
There's a lot of
what
communication. You
happened?
have to be
What
on your
happened
shit.
here?
Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, it's really fun. Did
Mm.
you play Destiny 1 at all? Or
I did, but I didn't. I was more of a solo player, so I didn't like do any of the nightfalls or the
hmm
raids,
yeah.
anything like that. I was able to do one D1 raid with my clan. They took me through quota.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah. I'm mostly a D2 player, like
Mhm.
Destiny 1. I played it a little bit, bounced off, and now I'm in it
Yeah.
hardcore.
You're hooked now. Now you
Yeah,
can't get
man.
out.
Hell yeah.
We made a podcast about it.
Right? I bothered my other guys and they kicked me off the show, and now I'm doing it. No, I'm kidding. Yeah. What other questions we got
I
here?
think that was it for what I came up with. I don't know if there's
All right,
any other
cool.
Destiny related questions you have, Kane, or
No,
Beth,
no,
if you want to talk about.
yeah. You have anything you want to say?
Not that I can think of. I just really like playing Destiny with like friends. It gets kind of boring to do it solo.
Yeah,
It is. It's
totally.
really bad. Solo.
Yeah.
Really bad.
All right, so let's get it right into it then.
Okay.
The season of the Worthy trailer dropped, and
Mhm.
so, what are your thoughts on the trailer?
I liked it a lot. It seems like the story could be really interesting too. I also love the fact that they're not just making a completely new story that they may never answer. We're going back to the Red War, um, and we're hopefully maybe finishing off some loose ends there. Um, really hopeful there. So I'm really happy that they're like, okay, we already have this story in progress. Let's wrap this up. Um,
It
other
took
things looks really cool, like
it took
Trials.
sorry, it took them a long time to get to the Almighty again, and finally
Yeah,
get rid
like
of
it
that
just
thing. It's just been sitting out there for like 2 years.
yeah, like it's awesome. Finally, we're getting some story that we're gonna finish up in Destiny, which is something I've been complaining about for like the last few months. So
Yeah. Beth, what do you think?
I actually kind of agree. Like, they just leave stories sort of half like finished, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and especially with like Warmind. I mean, it was just the ending was sort of like subpar, so I'm hoping that it will be better and revamped.
yeah, I agree. And there's a
Yeah.
possibility that both of those could get tied into. Actually, I didn't even think about that with Warmind, with Anna and
Mm.
the Red Legion. So like they could maybe wrap up two stories in one season, which would be awesome. Kane?
Yeah. So the trailer showed off some of the new stuff, like new weapons, new exotics. What the PVE activity is we're basically charging up a war mind to destroy the Almighty. So that's going to be pretty cool. It seems like we're just going to be working with uh, not Osiris, Rasputin rather. It doesn't really seem like there's going to be Osiris versus Rasputin like we originally thought.
That we know of.
Yeah,
So.
well, yeah, so far. Um, yeah, super cool. I like that we're gonna get a Tommy gun as an exotic.
Dude, the Tommy gun.
Yeah.
It's
Can't wait.
so
It's gonna probably be
silly,
so bad, but screw it. We're getting the Tommy gun.
right? Also, it seems like there's like some kind of giant like minigun as well. If you guys saw that,
I think that might just be an ornament.
you think so?
Yeah, maybe.
Hmm.
I mean, I could be completely wrong, but
It looks
yeah, it kind of
very.
looks
It
like
looks very different.
one of the Colossus miniguns, kind of.
Yeah.
Are you talking about that? Yeah. I think that might be an ornament. That may be a gun. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe.
My biggest, I can't wait to see what Grandmaster Ordeal looks like and Guardian games. Like, it has to be SRL. Would be my
Yes.
guess. Has to be.
You think so?
I don't know what else it could be. I mean, are we gonna be in the? I mean, I guess technically the Olympics is coming up, so
Right.
like maybe they have like turn our Guardians into athletes. We do like
Yeah,
Yeah.
they said
but
something about how all the classes are going to be like competing against each other.
Oh,
Uh,
so like a house cup.
yeah, kind of like a house cup. Yeah, uh, it's pretty good. That's a pretty good way to put it. Um, yeah, I'm really looking forward to that because it's just gives them an excuse to like change things up quite a bit and give some new content. Hopefully, it's not just like the hunters killed the most of Hive. You win like 1 point. It's hopefully it's not something like that. That'd be pretty lame.
find
Yeah.
this picture real quick.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be completely fine if it was SRL.
People have speculated that there's gonna be moats to bank because you can see in the three things on the Guardian
Yeah.
games. It kind of looks like
Mm.
a gambit hole,
Does.
gambit hole,
Oh my god. Gambit perfected, confirmed.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd be interesting. I would be completely cool with SRL, but I am actually really intrigued to see what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Seems
So,
like a neat concept.
Yeah, so we got trials back. Also, okay, before we get into trials again, so you also put down here what are the show notes? Yeah, Aldrin.
Aldrin.
Do you think that's Aldrin?
Yeah, 100%.
Really?
Yeah. I don't
See,
think it's Anna.
yeah, I don't think it's Anna either. What do you think, Beth?
I do think it's Aldrin. I mean, 'cause he's all like broody and stuff. Um,
It.
and then there's like the crow and how it like ties into him when they
Mm-hmm.
mention it in the lore.
Oh, that's true.
So,
It's just I don't know for some reason like I always had this theory of Season of the Worthy was going to be Aldrin, but like now that it's like Rasputin and the Mars and like Osiris stuff, I'm like he has nothing to do with any of that stuff. So why would it be him? But maybe that's just to throw us off the scent. So
yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I mean,
yeah, he has to come back sooner or later.
right.
Because, I mean, we need a Hunter Vanguard person. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah.
Titans over here, freaking Saint, Shax, Saladin, Zavala.
yeah.
You guys are stealing them all.
We have all the best characters. What can you say?
No, that's false. That's false. But yeah, I completely agree. I think that's Aldrin. Like, I feel like if it would have been Anna walking in, they would have like shown the face. Um, I think it'd be perfect timing. I mean, hunters haven't had a Vanguard in so long. It's season of the worthy. So like, is Aldrin worthy enough to be the hunter Vanguard? I think the timing's right for it. So, and I think it could also potentially set up um, future content for the next season. I think if we do get Aldrin, that cutscene I feel like is later on in this season,
Mm-hmm.
so it won't be early. So I
Hmm.
feel like it will probably close out this season potentially to set up next season is my guess. That cutscene.
Interesting. We have a couple people in chat saying that it's the player. It's not Aldrin. Uh, I don't know about that. I'm not
True.
sure about
I
that.
mean that could be true, but
Yeah.
I just feel like it's Aldrin. I hope it is Aldrin. That would be so nice.
Mhm. So they also released a content calendar, which is much improved over the last one or last couple, really.
We were actually just talking about this before the podcast. It was like one of the biggest issues I thought the past few seasons is that Bungie likes to show their cards
Mhm.
too much. Um, and we saw that really backfire with the Quarters of Time event.
Yeah.
Is if we didn't know that was Bastion, the community, I feel like that gun and like the ending would have been received so much better than knowing that, oh, here's this weapon that you guys were gonna get anyways. Um, so I do really like how it's very simple. They just give us the dates of some of the big events. Here is, Tower event, here's when Grandmaster Ordeal starts, Summer Games, or Guardian Games, I should say, and then Trials of Osiris, and like a few other things. There's no dates for exotics. There's not even dates for Iron Banner. Like, I
Yeah.
thought Bungie did a really good job not
Yeah.
showing us all their cards.
Mm-hmm. Yep, totally. And the fact that there's an and more tag as well,
Yep.
it signals that this is not the only thing that they have in store. So
Yeah.
it's pretty cool. Um,
Hopes that we get like a Outbreak slash Whisper of the Worm type mission this season. That would be awesome for one of maybe the new exotics that
like
we
a
see.
Gallowhorn mission.
Yes, that would be beautiful.
Yeah.
But I'm
Sully's
not gonna set my hopes up that much. I do think Gallowhorn is gonna be making a return.
Sully's been
At some
talking
point.
about it for like a month now.
Yes, and Gallowhorn would be perfect. I mean, rocket launchers haven't been really usable in PvE for a while, so
Yeah,
why
true.
not give us the best rocket launcher that's ever been in Destiny?
hmm All right, so let's get into trials then, I guess. So you wrote down here, Bungie save trials.
Yes.
So when they released the trials, I think we talked. Like, we talked about it last week. How
We actually, we talked about it last week because TWAB actually didn't come up until
right. So we're kind of
after
catching
we
up.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so last week we talked about on how they did some good and some bad with Trials of Osiris. They're giving us old weapons, old armor. They're doing, card-based matchmaking. A lot of good, and then they did do the unthinkable and say, hey, artifact will be enabled in
Yep.
Trials.
Mhm.
And then,
later
yeah.
on, Thursday night is when Luke Smith tweeted out, hey, we listened to your feedback. We're disabling the artifact in Trials and Iron Banner, which is awesome. I love that the team at Bungie definitely sat back and listened and be like, okay, maybe we did make a mistake here, or maybe this isn't what the community wants, so let's just disable it until we can come up with the way to balance this. And I thought that was perfect, instead of just being like, no, we're going to keep it active, and while it's active, we're going to try to figure out how to balance this. No. Alright, just disable it. So, GG to Bungie on that. So,
Absolutely.
Beth, you excited for Trials?
I actually am. I didn't play it in Destiny 1, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna be a new Trials player, and I'm really excited to play it and experience it, but I'm kind of worried because I want to go flawless, but I don't know.
You want to
Have
get
fun.
you want to get that flawless
Have fun.
title.
Yeah, just find some buddies and on a
Mhm.
weekend and just kind of enjoy it. That's what I think I'm gonna do. I'm not good enough to go flawless.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna play with my clanmates. Maybe have some drinks and just kind of chill with everyone.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah. There's gonna be two ways I approach this. One, just chill with you and Ninja and get absolutely raffle stomped, and and the other way is if I want to try to go flawless, I'll play with Dimension. Because
I don't think there is it skill based matchmaking.
I'm pretty sure they said it was like
It's card based matchmaking.
right. It's card based and skill, isn't it?
No, I don't think skills.
I thought it
involved.
was just card. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Well,
card based, and
It's
it's
card.
it's card based, connection based. matchmaking.
Okay, all right. So maybe it wouldn't be so bad then. I don't know.
Yes. So I feel like you can play with all of us, and it won't be the same. Now, once we get the higher tiers in the card, will be the issue.
Yeah, it'll be
Um,
tougher. Yeah.
Hmm.
so no, I'm super excited for trials. I think they did a great job by disabling the artifact. Um, the armor looks sexy. Um, obviously the weapons are going to be good. I think there's a lot of potential. We just have some really good fun with our clan and some other content creators in the world of Destiny. And by the way, Beth, what platform do you play on?
Xbox.
Okay.
Wasn't
Yeah.
Anna also playing on Xbox when we had him on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does.
Getting a lot of Xbox players on the podcast recently. We mostly play on our clan is PC, so
Mm.
gotta get all those frames, man. 120 frames. Let's go.
People can't afford a PC, so.
Yeah, true.
And then what's our next topic? What are your thoughts on the Grandmaster ordeal? What do you think? What do you think it's gonna be? Do you think it can replace the raid this season, potentially? Think it can give us that in-game grind?
Potentially, yeah. I guess it depends on what is offered in terms of like rewards.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah, 'cause I don't mind like grinding out master ones, but I don't want to get blues all the time.
No, I'm right there with you. I think if they would do kind of a once a week deal, or potentially maybe you had like either armor slash like weapon, some type of pinnacle tied to it, and you can only receive that once, but then the rest of it was like maybe you receive like your prisms and your shards and whatever,
Yeah.
so you can keep running it again. But like, yeah, if they had like potential like loot just tied to the Grandmaster Nightfall ordeal, like that would be
Hmm.
awesome. Since we're not receiving a raid this season, and they're not gonna do a, seems like they're not gonna do a weekly rotation for the raids, so hopefully the Grandmaster Nightfall can kind of scratch that itch for some hardcore PvE people, since PvE is starting to get a little too easy
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah, I wonder what like power level it'll be too.
Yeah, that's the thing, because it comes out April 21st, so we have a ways.
Yeah, good month and a half about.
So,
Maybe.
gonna have to guess it's gonna probably, because we're going up to with Pinnacle 1010 or 1010.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I speculated before it's gonna be 1,000 because it's 20 plus 980, which is what it is now. So
Okay,
that would make
Yeah.
20
sense.
plus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I have a feeling it's going to be is 1,000.
That's nuts that our power is up to 1,000, like 4 digits. That's insane.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be 1050. I think it's gonna be,
You really think so? Yeah, they're gonna
yeah.
make it really, really tough.
Well, you gotta figure, because at that point, well, maybe 1030. I think it'll go 20, because we have our artifacts still.
Right.
By that time, I feel like everybody's gonna be 1,000.
Yeah. They need to have guaranteed drops for like ascendant shards and stuff if they're gonna do a grandmaster. Like, there needs to be a better
Yeah.
reward than you'll get one every like 4 you complete.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
because I mean,
Yeah.
it says new seal, so like, is there just a seal tied to this event? Like, is this gonna be basically like, basically them? It could be like a prison of elders, but they just named it Grandmaster Ordeal.
You think they're gonna have new strikes for the grandmaster ordeal, or is it gonna be the same ones?
I think it might be something new.
Really, you think so? I
I
think
hope
it's
it's
gonna be the
something new.
same. For some reason, I don't believe in Bungie enough for them to make new ones. I think they're just gonna
guess
use the
that's
same
true.
ones over and over.
I would,
But-
and I would actually even be surprised if it was just literally the same one. the entire
Yeah.
time. There's just
No.
like
Oh
one.
my god, that would be the worst thing. That would be the worst.
But
Yeah.
Oh
um,
god, I hope they don't do that.
but I don't like we don't really know anything about this event, which is really intriguing because it's going to be our in-game activity for PvE. So that's probably what I'm most excited for this season is to see what this Grandmaster Ordeal Nightfall is.
Yeah. Just a quick topic on the raid stuff. There's people in our community that's really bummed out about this, and Quam specifically said that he's probably not gonna play a whole lot this season. He hardly played any last season. He'll probably just come around when trials is like for a day or two, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'm definitely bummed with no raid, but like I'm not
Yeah.
surprised, like I'm not
Yeah.
like upset. I would rather hopefully the deal is in September we get kind of like a last wish size raid.
Sure. Yeah.
I
I
would be
hopefully.
happy with that.
Yeah.
So
Something like Last Wish, King's Fall.
yes.
Was VOG the same size as those two, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might have been a little bit smaller than
He's going over the encounters in
Uh,
his head.
Last Wish. To be honest, just Last Wish had a lot of encounters.
It did, yeah, man. That was a long raid.
So it was. I would say it's probably about the same size as King's Fall. I think Last Wish might actually be the biggest raid we've ever received.
Mhm.
To be honest.
Yeah. So hopefully
So
we get something like that.
Yeah, I would be completely fine if that's what their plan was to be like, hey, we don't want to give you another Spire/Ear raid at this moment, so we're just gonna give you one big raid in September, which I would be completely fine with, and I feel like a good way to kind of like fix kind of the raid issue right now would to be do a weekly raid rotation.
Yeah, we talked about this quite a bit.
And I feel like that would have been completely fine because then it would have made all the old raids relevant again. So
Mhm.
like whatever raid it was that week was the raid that you got your pinnacle drops for, but you could still run all the other raids to get just the legendary drops. Like if you're
Yeah.
trying to farm like a certain gun or something like that. I think that would have been fantastic. I mean, hopefully that's something maybe we see next season because I really don't think we're going to get a raid the next season, then have another raid drop in September.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So hopefully that's something that they kind of do next season because I love Garden. Don't get me wrong. Definitely a fun raid. I definitely enjoy it. The boss can be kind of annoying, but like, give me a reason to go and run Leviathan. Give me a reason to run Last Wish. You know, Crown. Other than they get Teraba, like
Yeah.
you know, give me a reason to go and run those again. So.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next topic, we have just more raid stuff, but let's skip over that, I guess, since we already talked about raids for a while. So let's take a look at the TWAB of this for this week.
Yay.
So yeah, they start off with the trailer, then they show off the roadmap, which we've already talked about to death. And they said in another blog post that went live earlier today, they made a response to the COVID-19, the coronavirus outbreak, and how they're going to have their people work from home. It's not going to affect trials, though, they said, or the first few weeks of the new season.
Could potentially affect updates. They did say, which that's fine. Like,
All right.
watch out for your employees. Like, let them work safe and not have to worry about getting.
Did you hear that Los Angeles is now like a state of emergency because of
Maybe
this?
not.
It's nuts, dude. People are going crazy with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah. All All right, so let's talk about power gains. With each new season, you're faced with new challenges that require a bit of power acquisition to take on. Season of Worthy, you'll be challenged not only in Trials of Osiris, but in Legendary Lost Sectors and Grandmaster Nightfalls. Which, by the way, Legendary Lost Sectors, I can't even imagine if how to make those fun to play, because they're pretty boring. You just run right by it and then kill the guy. You get the crappy loot and then do it again.
Yeah. Maybe add some type of mechanic involved with it.
Yeah, I hope this is something that you can load into as well, not just open world it.
What about making it kind of being like Nightmare Hunts?
I like
That's how they would do it.
Nightmare Hunts are basically just strikes, right?
Yeah, like making it kind of like boss, like basically make it like a mini strike, be able to load into it from I don't know, Easy or Iowa, wherever this is located.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's 3 locations, but I feel like it ties into the tower event because I guess they're like labeled the same on the roadmap, but I don't really know.
Yeah, it seems like it's going to be like another obelisk kind of thing with the Rasputin towers, where you power it up,
Yeah.
get bounties. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't know why they're like starting. They have like 2 starting in March and then 1 starting in April. They're like staggering them out.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they like to do. So dev team says they're raising the cap for gear drops. We talked about this a little bit before. 40 points. Powerful gear will now drop up to 1,000 with pinnacle drops going up to 1010. Soft cap has been effectively raised 50 points. So gear drops from all sources will continue to be upgrades until 950. I'm trying to read through this. I don't think there's anything else really here, Sully.
Don't see anything. Wait up. Nope, I don't really see anything.
Okay, so then moving on. Eververse update.
Well, I'm gonna actually kind of
Roll back. All right.
roll back about this. Love
You,
that
you
we're
just
actually
you just take over for this. All right.
I guess so. I love the fact that we're getting a 40-point increase instead of the 10, even though
Yeah.
it's still like just 10 pinnacle, which fine. But we kind of talked about this while Beth was kind of getting like set up in our Discord. Please increase like in-game PvE activities. You know, either give us increase the 940 raid to Garden, or give us like a hardcore or prestige, but like don't give us like don't like give us like mechanics, just increase the power of like the activity. Like,
Yeah.
is now we're gonna be going into Garden of Salvation. We'll say an average power of about 1,000 for a 940 activity. Like,
Yeah.
the final boss is what, 960?
That's what I'm kind of hoping with the and more tag, that they're gonna surprise us with like some kind of like new raid, not mechanic, but like raid like setting, pretty much.
Hopefully, because I mean, I understand like there's still people like trying to like power level up to be able to do Garden, but like for the people that are surpassed that power, like give them like an extra reason to like do that raid. Even if it was just like literally all you got for like beating the raid was a chance to get a shader to drop. Like, you know, because I mean that's what it was in D1. Like Shatter White only dropped from VOG on Prestige. Glowhood only dropped on Crota for Prestige. I don't remember if there was one for King's Fall or not. But like, you had a dude rolling into the tower wearing Glowhood, like, you knew that dude was a boss. Like, you know, hey, that dude beat Crota on hard, so.
Yeah.
But that's my only concern with, like, it was awesome that we're seeing a higher increase than 10, but kind of going back, like it feels like in-game PvE activity is getting to be a little bit easier, but then again, maybe that explains why we're getting the 20% nerf snipers.
Yeah.
So,
Just a quick update regarding the artifact for Season of the Worthy. So the artifact's power is gonna be in play for the first trials weekend. So
yeah, they did say that because they weren't able to get the update,
yep.
and so I think by that situation, I don't feel like the artifact will be a huge advantage and disadvantage for some people. Since it's like so early now, there's gonna probably still be some people
Yeah.
who hoarding their bounties and pain. Um, but
There's always those people every season.
uh, at least they communicated with us and let us know, like, hey, this first week it's gonna be active. After that, it's gone. So.
Mm. What else here? So eventually they want to have a power cap for Trials and Iron Banner. So what do you think about that? Like having the artifact in play but have it be capped.
I don't really know how you would do that. Like, if they want to have it capped, just keep the artifact disabled.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that's the easiest source. Like, I feel in terms of like coding, that could be too like just it's extra coding that you don't need into the system. Like, just either one, remove the artifact, or two, keep the artifact but just keep it disabled in Trials and Iron Banner, and just let your pinnacle gear determine the power cap.
So they're saying that this will roll out no earlier than midway through Season of the Worthy, but we don't have a firm date yet. We'll make sure to communicate with it when we do. We also plan to look at damage curves for power-enabled PvP modes to determine what, if any, adjustments should be made. Assuming we discover it's necessary, the timeline for a change is still TBD. With both changes, we plan to provide more detailed write-ups before they go live, explaining the details of the change and the design philosophy behind why we are making these decisions.
Beth, what do you have? What do you think?
I don't know. I think it's a good call on their part, I guess. Yeah.
I think they want to reward some of their more like hardcore players, but not completely destroy more casual people. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I guess they want to enable it so people could still chase power. I don't know. You got me, man. It's not a good call. I think they should just keep it like either cap it plus 10 or like just leave it alone.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna cap it, I guess like that's fine. But still, even I think at that point, if you're gonna cap the artifact, just remove it from the game. Like, in terms of giving us power, maybe you can keep the artifact and we can like level it up and it gives us like our mods for the season. That would be fine. But I just feel like it's just unnecessary to like have it active in Trials and Iron Banner, because like I think their original thought for the artifact was a way for to kind of help the casual player that doesn't have multiple hours per day to play the game to be able to chase a lot of the end game activities like pinnacle gear,
Yeah.
like that they wouldn't feel behind, not taking into account that your hardcore players are not only going to have the pinnacle gear, they're going to have even bigger artifact power than somebody that can only play like, maybe 8 hours a week.
Right. So
People do have lives.
Yeah.
Personally.
Wait, what?
Right?
They don't just play Destiny every day? What? Okay.
Some of us play Tarkov, but other than that,
So next up, Eververse update. With the turn of each season, we hope to keep players up to date on how the Eververse store is evolving. This season we will have a few changes concerning bright engrams and new path directly purchasing some previously featured Eververse items. So, Season of the Worthy bright engrams will no longer be available to purchase from the Eververse store. And they're just quoting themselves from last week, saying they want to make sure you know what you're buying.
Smart move.
This season, we're continuing to focus our efforts on direct purchasing through the Eververse store. In place of the bright engrams, is a new module will become available in the Eververse store. Starting in Season of the Worthy, the daily rotating module will feature one item from a small selection of ships, sparrows, ghosts, and finishers that are offered in previous seasons, and these items will be available to purchase directly for silver at a discount. Aside from these changes, there aren't any other major shifts coming to the Eververse, and they'll be monitoring more. So,
Few things. It changes to Eververse, like the whole loot box situation, like has been kind of like a fiasco in the video game industry just because of like the RNG that's in place.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're just, you know what, you're just gonna get rid of this. Here, you're seeing what you're buying. So
it's still not the changes I'd like to see, but I don't think those changes will ever come to pass.
what do you want to see? What do you want to see?
I want my engrams to matter again. I don't want to get the same crap that I've gotten already
Yes.
when
Oh
I've,
my god, yes.
when I've played.
You are the Eververse person. Like, you are always talking about Bright Dust and Eververse. So like,
Right. Like I want to earn my rewards, not have to buy them.
well, I mean, you have to buy them with Bright Dust.
I mean, make a way so that I can get a good amount of bright dust. Like
Instead
make
of
it,
just the weeklies, yeah.
yeah.
Which could be changing.
Make it so that
Okay.
I can actually buy buy everything in their store for bright dust that week available instead of like, oh, you either get this one emote that's like 5,000 bright dust, but you can't earn that much in it this week because the bounties don't cost, they're not worth anything.
Because I think we're getting a new Crucible and Gambit bounty. It's for Pinnacle,
Oh.
so I wonder if Bright Dust will be increased on that, or if there just won't be any Bright Dust.
We'll see. I doubt they'll add bright dust because
Hey, you never know. Gotta
Fucking-
think positive, Kane.
they're stingy
Unlike this-
Listen,
Unlike this Titan over here, who looks god awful. Oh my gosh.
yeah, let's talk about this armor. So, me and Sully had basically the same reaction. We were looking at this armor like, oh yeah, hell yeah, the Warlock looks like a pimp, he's a G. Look to his
Yeah.
right side, he's got his buddy, the Titan over there. Oh wait, why does he wear a cloak? Why is that a hunter symbol? Oh god, no. And you look to your left, and you see a little high schooler wearing clothes that don't fit him.
My first thought when I saw that, I was like, why are there two warlocks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it
It's the
looks
helmet,
more like a
yeah.
robe.
Yeah.
Well, and the helmet, yeah, the helmet's all like sleek and
Mhm.
minimalistic as you like assume a warlock would have.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know, because typically warlocks get, I think, shafted when it becomes like in terms of like looks. Hunters are normally like pretty even. They're either like just like good or they're really awesome, and like typically like Titans always have like really cool ornaments and like really cool in-game look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who approved of this, but like why it literally looks like they just focused on the Warlock and Hunter, and then last minute they're like, oh fuck, we forgot the Titan. Like, let's hurry up and just throw some stuff on here. Like, what? Like,
It's not even the same kind of like aesthetic at all.
it's not even in the same ballpark. It's like you have the Hunter and the Warlock who's in like the major leagues, and like the Titan's like still playing high school.
Yeah, is that the Eververse armor?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
Eververse
it's
armor.
yeah.
Alright, well then I don't really care about that. I'm not gonna buy it.
No, but it's just
You can
so
get it for
funny
bright
just
dust.
on how
though.
like
Yeah.
off it like it is like compared
Yeah.
to the other two. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good thing I'm maining a hunter next season, huh?
Disappoint every single Titan.
I'm sorry, but they're the most overpowered in PvP, so I have to.
They are though. Yeah.
What do you think about these finishers?
I'm still trying to figure out why a Titan's trying to become a Warlock, but
Yeah. That's what made me
Right?
do a double take. I'm like, Warlock,
like,
Titan symbol. Wait.
it literally looks identical to the Warlock.
It does. It really absolutely does. Uh,
Like, it's a little bit shorter, and I think like he doesn't pull his arms
He does like a
back.
clap.
yeah, the Titan does like a
Oh yeah,
thunderclap,
I guess I
but it's not
Yeah.
a good clap. It's his hands don't even touch.
like
Yeah.
It's bad.
it is. I don't like. Is it just literally we're gonna like disobey all Titans this season? Like
Yeah, man, this is the
everything?
season of fuck Titans, I guess, huh?
Like
Yeah.
like the Warlock finisher looks really cool, and then like the Hunter finisher looks pretty cool. Like I don't know if I'm sure these are silver, so I probably won't
Yeah,
buy
probably.
these.
Yeah.
So like I'm still rocking my like just general finisher on my Warlock, nothing else.
Yeah, I had to buy one
So
new finisher, the sword one.
uh,
And it's pretty
Oh.
good. I
what
like
about
it.
you, Beth? You have any finishers?
I have two. I have the generic one, and then I have the one that came with the season pass, the headbutting one.
Mhm.
Oh, okay, I think that's on my Hunter. I don't have that on my Warlock.
Yeah,
Activated
so
anyways.
I just put them both as favorites, so it's just random
Mhm.
Okay.
for when I
Yeah.
do finishers.
Yep. So final preview of patch notes. Over the last few weeks, we've been giving some some previews on how the sandbox will be evolving in the season of the Worthy. Not just weapon tuning, but ability to change elemental affinity on your armor pieces. This week, we'll be taking a wider look at Destiny 2 update 2.8, exotic armor tuning and for PvE and PvP, UI updates, bug fixes, and more. So starting with the exotic armor for the hunter, the assassin's cowl. The invisibility and healing effect now triggers on powered melee, both against combatants and guardians and finishers. Duration of the invisibility granted by this exotic increases based on the tier of the enemy killed. And also, arc staff kills no longer activate this perk.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know about that. I should have abused that.
Yeah. Does anybody even run that armor piece?
I ran it
Or
a little
just
bit. It's neat. It's not.
okay?
Yeah. It's,
This is the Frosties. Is kind of like
Frosty's pretty big. I usually
yeah.
run Frosties.
I think this is a fairly good nerf, though. I don't think it necessarily destroys Frosties.
Yeah, so
PvP.
they changed the ability regen so it no longer stacks multiplicatively. I swear I didn't have a stroke. I was just trying to read. With other class ability energy regen perks.
I think this is actually a really good nerf for Frosties. I still think it's usable in PvP.
Yeah.
Mm.
I don't think it's gonna be like run by every single hunter now in trials slash PvP.
Mm-hmm.
Your thoughts?
I don't know. It seems to me like they're just fixing a bug. Like remember how they in the beginning of the season they had the bug where like you would use your ability and you get your whole entire super back.
I mean, there was that, and then also Recluse was a bug too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what it sounds like to me, anyways. So moving on, Capri Sting. All smoke bombs deal 150% damage while wearing this exotic. And I saw a cool guy tweet something out. Let me look that up. What are your thoughts?
I think this is like nice stuff, honestly, because I feel like smoke bombs aren't very good. I don't really run a
Yeah.
hunter too often, especially like with Void. I typically, if I'm running a hunter, I'm either arc or I'm solar. So like, I feel like it's a fairly good buff for it. What do you think, Beth?
Well, I don't really run hunters, but I do come in contact sometimes with smoke bombs in PvP.
Okay.
so might be viable then. I just don't know if people are gonna like take advantage of the damage.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because I'm seeing 150%, and that's a pretty it's
It's
a
a pretty
pretty
big
big
percent,
buff.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'd be interested to see on how if that gets adjusted later on if they end up dropping it down to say like 75% or something like that.
So Cool Guy tweeted out to DMG asking if it still drops smoke grenades with full melee energy and gain a couple seconds of true sight if you're only smoke bomb effect. So like this buff on top of these other things could make it very very powerful in PvP.
Yeah.
Interesting.
All right. Next up, Orpheus rig. I don't know why they thought that they needed to touch this, but the maximum amount of super you can get regain from this exotic with a single use of shadow shot is only 50%.
Yeah, so that's what I was kind of thinking. So unless they're thinking trials, because I feel like
No one runs tether.
but I feel like in trials it could be used a lot, to be honest, because you could use it to shut down a super,
Yeah.
and
Or they'll have a Nova Bomb, that's what they do. If they
well,
want to shut
yes.
down, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, you're gonna probably maybe see people run Shadow Shot more in trials to shut down a super, and then if they happen to pop off 1 or 2 kills with it, they're getting big super increase. And like, supers, obviously, just like in comp, very important in trials.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that's their thought. But I'm kind of right there with you, like, Hume. Like, I don't know who runs Orpheus rigs even in PvE. Like, I don't know any hunter that runs, at least when we're doing, like, raids, we typically always just run Celestial Nighthawk.
Yeah.
So, which I'm happy he's not getting nerfed.
Imagine nerfing that. It's the whole
Dude,
point.
It's OP, man. It's a,
The whole point of that
one
super is to do a whole bunch.
kill.
It's a one-shot kill to the body.
Yep, to the body in PvP, you gotta nerf it.
All right.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of a weird one, but I'm assuming that their trials playtesters were probably running a lot of Shadow Shot in trials and felt like it needed some type of nerf, but
Okay.
maybe I'm wrong.
Next up is Young Kara's Spine. Increases the explosion radius for trip mines by 14%. I don't know if the radius is gonna mean a whole lot.
No, but I mean, trip mines are gonna be nice in Season of the Worthy, so
Totally.
Yeah.
Next up,
14% increase, so that's nice.
Next up, Ashen Wake. Killing an enemy with a fusion grenade while wearing this exotic now refunds grenade energy. The amount of grenade energy is refunded scales based on the tier of the enemy killed. Artius Wards, or Entius Wards. The shield created during the slide no longer allows chip damage through, which I'm really happy about. Because when I was running that for the doubles, I was still getting damaged even though the shield was up sometimes. You're gonna see me if I ever play Titan on trials. You'll see me shotgun sliding
I hate you.
with shoulder charge.
I definitely hate you.
That was so much fun, man.
Get out of here. Titans should be deleted.
They should delete shotguns, but whatever.
No, don't do that.
Whoa! Now we have an issue. Can't be we can get rid of Titans, but you mess with my shotguns. What do you think about the nerfs to shotguns? The adjustments for next season. If you read that last week, or is it 2 weeks ago? Okay.
I don't
It
remember.
was last week, 2 weeks ago. I don't know. Anyway, I don't know. I'm not super thrilled by it, but I'll make do, I guess. I've just started to learn how to like shotgun ape, like. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But at least you're shotgun aping with a warlock, not a Titan.
Or a
That's
hunter.
true. I
So,
just
I mean,
I try to like floof and shotgun ape, so that doesn't work. That doesn't work.
Yeah, you don't have the range, really. uh,
Yeah.
Continuing on, we have the Doomfang Pauldrons. Fix the bug where Doomfang Pauldrons would sometimes grant super energy for melee kills while in your super. Dune Marchers are getting a pretty good buff. Increase the radius of the static charge to 20 meters, up from 12.
Yeah,
That's going to be pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah.
I like two marchers too.
They're really fun to use, man. The Mark 44 stand asides. Reduce the delay from the start of sprinting until the overshield comes in to 0.5 seconds, down from 1.25.
Oh, here's the baby.
And One-Eyed Mask is getting another retool. The target marketing from this exotic has been replaced with target highlighting, eliminating the ability to detect targets through walls.
Thank you.
That's the biggest,
you.
yeah. That's the one thing that like a lot of people really use those for.
You're never gonna see any Titans in the Crucible. They're all just gonna be like, well,
It's all hunters, man.
I'm a hunter now.
Right?
Yeah.
Foe Tracer is gonna be the big thing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's gonna be running.
This also no longer provides a damage bonus when defeating your marked target, which I could live with. That's fine. Restored the previous overshield granted by defeating your marked target, which now has a duration of 6 seconds, down from 8. Yeah, pretty good change, especially for trials. I'm fine with the overshield coming back if you get rid of the target marking, because what that does is it just resets you for the next fight. So it's fine.
I think that's a good change, and a change that
It doesn't restore health either, I guess, right? It's just the overshield.
nope.
Yeah. Let's see. And then Severance Enclosure. The explosion now triggers on powered melee, both against combatants and guardians and finishers. The radius and damage of the explosion created by this exotic increases based on the tier of enemy defeated. I never use this thing. I think it was the new one, right? The one that came out this season.
I don't think I've ever used it, so
Yeah. I just don't see the point. Warlock. Apotheus Veil. This exotic is now guaranteed to drop with a minimum of plus 16 intellect. That's interesting.
great change.
Uh,
Still not gonna use it.
Controverse Hold, the big one, is getting a change. Reduce the damage reduction granted by this exotic by to 20%, down from 40. Are we gonna see more handheld supernova or no?
No, I don't think so.
I mean, we'll definitely still see it, but it won't be like it is right now. I feel like if somebody's just really good with handheld supernova, I think they'll run it, but I think the norm won't. They'll find something else.
Yeah.
Sanguine Alchemy. I always thought this one was pretty useless. Like, it only works if you're standing in your rift, and
Yeah,
the
I'm
rift's
so
not that big.
excited by this
Yeah.
change.
So it's actually getting a complete redesign. It's going to have a new perk called Blood Magic. It allows the wearer to pause the countdown timer of any rift they are standing in by getting weapon kills, extending the rift's duration. So this is going to be more for PvE, I guess, right?
Yeah, I would probably use this in a situation with Thrall.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Just like shoot them and then
Right.
infinite whip.
Right, exactly. Ophidian Aspects now increases the lunge range of all Warlock melee attacks, even if the ability is on cooldown. That's interesting.
I love that though, cause our range is kind of boo boo.
It is.
You guys are going to get a Titan melee range now with the
That
Syntheseps.
would be, that'd be
Excellent.
awesome.
Excellent.
I love my Syntheseps, so...
I do love that exotic piece too. That's typically what I run if I'm on my Titan, which is very rare because after that jump.
And then we have Viridity's Brow. The buff provided by this exotic now increases your grenade damage by 10% per stack. The buff to allies' grenade recharge rates now kicks in when you cast your grenade. The exotic now provides a buffed text notification indicating how many allies are currently benefiting from your increased grenade recharge.
That's helpful.
I think they did actually a fairly good job, at least by like in terms of like reading, well, listening to Kane read these patch notes. I think all these adjustments seem nice. Let's see on how they play, but like I think the exotic pieces that needed to be addressed all got addressed, and I feel like their nerfs were, you know, good. Like I feel like they're still can be used. They're not complete trash, but like I think it definitely brings the skill gap down for it. So
Yeah.
Absolutely. So let's move on into engrams, legendary engrams.
a lot of good changes right here,
So
actually.
so they increased the number of armor sets available from world drops to 11 sets, up from 3. This will include faction rally armor.
Insane.
That is insane. Players who own previous faction rally ornaments may apply them to these sets, which thank God that's awesome. Several sets that were previously unavailable or extremely difficult to acquire are now available as world drops as well. I'm really happy with this change. It gives me more armor to go after.
Yeah, that's why I said like these changes coming up here are actually really good, because like it was getting really annoying getting the same piece or set at least, you know, constantly, and you're just like, okay, let me see the up stats are horrible, just dismantle. Like, so
Yeah.
it's kind of nice to see a variety now to come into play.
Speaking of armor stats, Prime Engrams will now more reliably drop armor with higher overall stat rolls and spikier distributions, so you can spec more into whichever tree you want. Exotic armor will now reliably drop with higher overall stat rolls as well.
Woo.
I hear a woo. I'm
Yeah.
I'm excited about this too.
Wait, you don't
Yeah.
like your 48 exotic armor that drops every single?
No. Who
Oh
would
my
like that?
I do.
You're crazy.
Yeah. I'll
Legend.
stick with my 64. Thank you.
Yeah. Legendary armor now has an improved chance of receiving higher overall stat rolls. The low rolls will still be present.
Good change.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Now
Good
let's get into some of the nerdy changes. UI design. I get a whoop in the audience here. So the settings screen UI layout on consoles has changed to match the experience on PC, which that sounds bonkers to me that they didn't have that consistent already. So they had
Yeah, I
the
don't even know
ability.
what consoles look like,
Yeah,
to be honest.
it's weird. Added the ability to change the color of the reticle on consoles. Players can choose from 7 different colors matching PC. Added hint text during loading screens, which that's a big change. And a
Yeah.
very welcomed one for new people.
Mhm.
Maybe it'll tell them how to do the heroic public events.
Let's not get
I
carried away.
hope so.
Let's not get carried away. Okay? That's asking for way too much.
They added comma separators to the glimmer count in the loot stream. No longer added categories to the quest screen. Sully's really excited about this one.
Yes, super
I
hype.
am too. I'm so confused with the question. The
Oh,
question.
it's just
screen.
it's so clustered.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, so quest items
thank you,
will
Bungie.
now be automatically filtered to any of these 7 categories. New light quests. This category will be hidden if there are no active new light quests in your character's inventory. The other ones are all quests, Shadowkeep, seasonal, playlists, exotics, and the past. So I guess it's anything before Shadowkeep.
Probably.
Mm-hmm.
So we got some performance upgrades as well, fixed UI stuttering and frame rate drops when loading or applying mods, improved.
I could have
Woohoo.
sworn that this was adjusted like shortly after Shadowkeep, but every time I'm on my I'm playing on PC and I'm like trying to switch my mods, my like frames drop like so bad. I'm just like, what's going? Like I thought this was fixed, and I read the twab today. I was like, oh, never mind, it's still a bug.
Yeah, I think they had a lot of issues with just like applying mods. Like remember that bug where it's like you apply the mod, it didn't work. Apply the mod, it didn't work. Constantly over and over.
Remember the bug that we can't launch our activity when in a fire team?
Yeah, it's a PC bug, so they're not gonna worry about that. Improved frame rate in Gambit and Gambit Prime. That's why you hate Gambit.
Yes, that's exactly why I hate Gambit. You nailed it, Kane. Gambit. I don't mind playing Gambit if I have like a few people to play with, but going in there solo.
Yes, it's so frustrating. Oh my god.
Like I can play Strike solo. I can do Crucible solo. I can do public events solo, but Gambit.
It's fine. Fixed frame rate issues during the Sanctified Mine encounter of the Garden of Salvation raid.
That's why we can't one phase it.
Yeah. Fixed frame rate issues in the Pit of Heresy dungeon, specifically in tunnel encounters. Fixed stutter at high frame rate on PC. General improvements to performance on PC when a lot of debris is on the ground. Don't forget to pick up your guitars. That's an inside joke.
Yes. Yeah. Make sure. Yes. You don't want any guitars.
Yeah, we were doing a raid and it was like 8 hours or something, and we got kicked to orbit on the last encounter.
We were doing a Divinity run.
Oh fuck, we were! Oh my god!
Yeah, we were doing a Divinity run for Ninja.
What?
Ninja.
Wow.
Yeah, because he got screwed out of the one Divinity. I don't even remember what happened because that's when I was having just stupid internet issues.
Yeah.
But finally got internet to work and we were doing it, and yeah, guitar hit and Ninja was like, I'm out later. Because that's like shortly after Garden. We were still
Fairly new to it.
powered,
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
so,
It was like our second run or third run or something.
something like that.
Alright, so they'll have more notes to share with us next Tuesday.
Woo!
Mm,
Notes.
I'm trying to read. Oh, so daylight savings is coming back. So
Yeah, Sunday.
yeah. So they're gonna go back to 1 p.m. our time. I can't remember what it is over there. 9, 10, 10?
10 a.m. Yeah.
All right. So just be aware of that. Systems check. I'm just reading through this just to see if it's anything worth reading. So upcoming resolved issues. Hunter's Tempest Strike melee ability can now be performed when using PC controls where sprint is set to hold. Character subclasses with ranged melee abilities will now count towards melee kill
Oh,
bounties.
thank you.
Yeah, I was doing this before the show, and I had the Celestial Fire on and it didn't count, and I was like, what the fuck? Like,
Yeah, it hasn't
Yep.
counted all season, I think.
yeah, that's nuts.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it will count towards melee kill bounties and triumphs. So yeah, includes Titan Hammer Throw, Hunter Throwing Knives, Corrosive Smoke Bomb, Warlock Celestial Fire, and Ball Lightning. The Fastidious Miser Triumph will now correctly progress and complete for players who found all 30 Ascendant chests across the 3 curse weeks in the Dreamy City, and who have claimed those corresponding triumphs. I think I'm still waiting for that to unlock for me, so I should check.
There you go.
Yeah, I should check when that comes out. And then the weekly strike bounties for Hive and Vex boss kills will now award progress to players for killing Sabathu's Song, Soul, and Dedrin the Root Mine. Yay!
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a pain. And that's pretty
Sometimes
much
the
it.
Hive one would count for me when I did Seventh and Song, though.
Same.
So
It
just.
yeah, it didn't never counted the root mind, which I thought was pretty stupid.
Yeah.
Um, before we get into questions, do you guys think we'll have ritual weapons this season?
Yeah.
Think so?
I hope so. Um, I hope they just bring swords back to being good, because with the new um, buffs to them and changes and stuff, they seem like really viable. So I hope at least one of the ritual weapons is a sword or something.
I feel like Black Talon could be meta in PvP, to be honest.
Oh
Depending
yeah.
on how that. And I've been saying this for a few weeks now. People at first thought it was crazy, but they're starting to see it a little bit more in Crucible, and they're like, okay, this could actually be an issue with that charge rate. So I'm interested to see on how that charge system works for heavy attacks.
Yeah.
All right, so let's start off with Twitter questions. So yeah, Anna Braytech asks, "Do you trust Osiris, or is he just an old washed-up warlock with the Rubik's cube and fancy Rolex?"
Anna. That's, of
Oh
course.
my gosh.
Of course. You might be a little crazy. Aren't we all? Okay.
After you've seen what he's seen,
Yeah, like.
I don't know. I like Osiris, but maybe it's just because he's a warlock. I don't know.
he's like that crazy old uncle that warns you about the end of the world, but he's actually right this time.
Yeah, exactly.
So Sully, questions from our Discord. I'm trying to find them. What do you got?
Let me pull up our Discord. Why is Zaddy just chilling?
You know Zaddy, he just chills. That's what he does. I'm trying to scroll to the top.
Because we had a lot of just random questions.
Yeah, a lot of talking. We talked about the no raid stuff. Qualm is really upset, so we talked about that already. Hidden talked about some universal infusion going away. I don't think that's the case. I don't think anyone said that.
No, I don't see what I think he found a clickbait thing. Alright. So Ninja asks, thoughts of the surge of people using aim trainers. Since Trials was announced, I feel like probably aim trainers have been still very popular to a lot of the high tier players.
Yeah.
Like, personally, I don't know. I've never used an aim trainer, and like I'm still fairly new to PC and like understanding all that stuff. But like I feel like still the overall best way is just like playing the game.
Right? Yeah.
I could be completely wrong. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I've like Fortnite has some really cool stuff to like help them.
Yeah, this is more of a PC
Trade.
question. So like, I never heard
Sorry,
of this.
but
Yeah.
That's okay.
So I actually never heard of this kind of stuff until these guys started talking about it.
really?
So,
See, I've known
yeah.
about it since like Fortnite launched, and people have said that, but like, maybe I have to like try one of these, but I feel like the best way that you're gonna get better is by playing the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The it's just because like Destiny's physics and like mechanics are pretty different compared to some of the other stuff that's out there.
But that was another thing, like on how like you might be still practicing, but it's still like kind of like a different shooting mechanic.
Right.
How much is that gonna really carry over? Where like when I brought up the Fortnite thing was like those trainers were like actually in the game and like creative. So like it was literally still like Fortnite mechanics. So, like, and you were just able to practice that way with like your builds, your editing, and your shooting. while still using Fortnite mechanics. Where like this, you're using like a third party, or is it like just like basically another game, Kane?
What the
Game
aim
trainers.
trainers? Yeah, it's like a program that you download from Steam or something.
Okay,
There's
so I
one that
think
you
I'm
buy for,
gonna be
it's like $10, and then there's one that's free. So
okay. I might try out the free one just to kind of give it a go. I should have done that actually prior to the podcast, but like,
we talked
um,
about this today. So
uh, yeah. I mean, I feel like the top tier people are probably already doing this if they are like if it is popular. But I feel like since Trials has been announced, I don't feel like team trainers are going to become extremely popular now because of Trials.
I don't think so. I think it's just going to be the top tier people, like the one percenters.
Yeah, people that are looking to like
Some
perfect their game,
someone like me, I'm not going to waste my time on a aim trainer.
Yeah,
I'll just play the game and get better that way. It's fine.
yeah. I mean, I see the perks for it because like maybe you can work on certain things while not being shot at, but I just feel like playing the game and like hopefully they just have elimination open in a playlist throughout the week so like people can just go and play elimination and practice.
That's a
And
good idea, yeah.
then on the weekend that's where trials is, and when trials is gone there. So, I think that's probably the best practice is just going in, playing elimination and just kind of getting the feel of how the game, how it's played, the pace.
Yeah, for sure.
Uh, I think that's actually the only questions that we had. Everything else was kind of just people talking and having their own opinions and stuff.
I mean, we had Quant. We already answered a few of the questions
Yeah.
that I scrolled over, so double
Um,
check.
Hayden asked like 2 weeks ago if we're going to be happy with trials, and I think yes, just because it's back, and so people are going to be very lenient on it.
I
So
mean, I'm sure we'll have like our frustrations with it, like everything else in video games. But I think, just in general, there's just a lot of just potential to just be able to hang out with everyone and just have some
yeah.
enjoy the content that Bungie gave us.
All right. So that's going to be an episode. Beth, where can the people find you?
I'm on Twitter at BethRayleen, and I also have a Twitch for when I stream occasionally at BethRayleen as well.
Nice.
Where can they find your podcast?
I'm not really sure yet. I haven't figured out where to post it
Okay.
yet. I'll probably make a Twitter for it here soon, so it'll probably be on Twitter, and I'll make a tweet about it. So.
Okay. And
Cool.
we'll make a post in our Discord
Mhm.
for it. And we'll probably put it in, we can put it in our description, can't we?
Yeah, I could put a link once it's up. Yeah. So Sully, where can the people find you?
You can find me at Twitter, Instagram, Twitch, Mixer, and YouTube at Sully_games.
And you can find me, your host Thomas, on Twitter, CSG Thomas. You can also email me, thomas@charshot.com. Visit charshot.com for audio, video, and written content, and check out the Charshot Gamescast for our all-inclusive video game podcast. You check us out at Spotify, iTunes. Leave us a review on iTunes, please. 5 stars. We'll read it on the show if it's related to the show. And that's going to be it. Until then, guys, eyes down, Guardians.